Hello and welcome to Joyride with your hosts, the Metaphysical Moms, Tiffanie and Kerry. Joyride takes you on a spin through all things spiritual and soulful, including holistic healing, energy work, and personal development. Now, here are your hosts, Tiffanie and Kerry.
There's our audio. Good morning, all our Joyriders. Thank you for tuning in this morning. How are you?
We're good. Me?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm great. I just heard we've got a bump, so I was wondering if we have a bump.
No, are we good?
We're back.
We're
in the
good to
studio.
go. Yay. Hi, Kerry.
Hi, Tiff. How you doing,
Good
honey?
to see you. Hi, everybody who's joining us out there in Facebook land or iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, you name it. You throw a digital rock and you can hit us. We're the Metaphysical Moms.
Yes, we are, and I am. Okay, so we've been recording at the house, and Bobby, I didn't tell you this.
Producer Bobby.
Yes, last week it was just so weird. It was we're used to all of his cues, and I wait for them, and it just feels weird. So it feels much better to be back in the studio.
We are, and if you're joining us Facebook Live, please drop a little note to say hello. We're saying hi to Jody, Melanie, and Emma. We cannot see you. We see you, but we don't hear you. Oh, all right. Well, let's see if we can fix the video, and we will take care of that.
So we'll just sign language.
We'll sign language to you. They can't see us. That's not going to help.
No, I think they can see us. They can't hear us.
No, we can hear you, but not see you. We'll just talk it up.
Yeah, we'll just give it a good old chat. So today we have a very, very, very wonderful, amazing guest, Allison Coe. This is her third time on the show, and she is incredible. And she is a QHHT. I don't know if I know all you guys right now know who she is, but she, just to fill in for those who are new to this show, she's a QHHT practitioner, and she gets all of this incredible information, and she has to receive it several different times from several different places, and I think it's spirit that talks to not only who she works with, but with her.
Yes.
And then she spreads the info, and it's just sort of mine.
Well, welcome to Joyride, Allison. Welcome back. Oh, that's really loud.
How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me. I'm so glad it worked out. So I got to be on your show again.
We've got all kinds of bips and glitches, and did we get our video going yet?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. We've been out of the studio, and it all just,
Goes to hell.
everything goes to hell, as Bobby's saying. Well, we're going to go anyway.
This is our third interview together, third show together. None of it has been on video.
You're right.
Oh, right. I think the last
And
one,
never worked out.
it ended up, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
Well,
now we have video up. We're good. We have video up, and later when you're watching on YouTube, you will see Allison. You're so glamorously
you are. You're just
elegant,
beautiful.
but in a natural way. It's like, I don't know how you do it.
Stop it.
I've
Nothing
seen her
natural about it.
I've seen her with no makeup, and she looks
Just as pretty. I know.
Miles, my youngest son, I didn't realize told you the same thing. He said, "Mom, you look so much better without makeup."
I know he told me that. You look older with makeup. I'm like, oh, well, that's a
From
compliment.
mouths
Thank
of
you.
babes.
That
Backhanded.
is a compliment.
Well, we have a lot of ground to cover.
We do. Well, so
Yeah.
we had you back on in June last year, show number 52, talking all about what is QHHT and the shift. We were talking about the shift last year because you were starting to get a lot of information through from your clients under hypnosis, delivering messages about the energy that's coming to Earth. Then
And
we
the
had you
eclipse.
back again in August, number 61, talking all about the eclipse and that event and how that was bringing new energy. And we're back again because you've gotten so much more information from your clients
Yeah.
about really this energies the energies that are coming forward now, and how to prepare ourselves and how to ride that wave. So
Yeah.
Well, let's go back because
Yeah.
I would love to let folks know in your words, like how do you get it, and how, when do you feel okay actually? I can't say the word, putting it out there.
putting it out there.
Okay, yes. So I get the information through the hypnosis sessions, and we journey during each hypnosis session. We journey through an induction, kind of like the guided meditation, if you will, getting the client relaxed, and then we're asking the higher self to show them kind of traveling through a life. It may be a past life, it may be a parallel life. And maybe, sometimes we can't tell when this life is occurring, but we travel through the life. And then after the life, we ask to speak to the client's higher self. So we've gone through some deepening corridors to get to this higher self. And then I start asking questions that the client arrives to the session with a list of questions that they're seeking answers to. So it's not my questions at all, because they're not self-serving in any way usually. It's just, whatever the client needs help with that they're seeking answers to. And so I'm just start asking these questions and, having this conversation with this kind of higher energy. And then if the client, depending on whether or not the client is interested in like the new earth or the event, which believe me, not all clients are. They're there for so many other reasons, and health and wellness are the primary reasons people come to me. But definitely curiosities are, a top reason as well. So some clients aren't interested in the event and some are. And so if they have questions on there, we ask about, what will they expect? I mean, what can they expect to experience during the event? Is it actually going to happen, or is it false? Because that's always, we shouldn't just assume that this is happening, or at least I don't. I could feel it, but I don't want to assume for the client. They're not there for my opinion about things. They're there for their higher self opinion. Okay, so that's basically kind of what it looks like. And so then the information comes through and for that specific client. And when it matches other clients' sessions, the information that came through in their sessions, that's when I feel like I could share it. It's not enough to share just one session. Like, that's not powerful enough to me. It's cool, it's great for that client, but for the general public, they're going to be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's a one-off.
We really want something that people can really feel strongly about and say, okay, there's enough evidence there that I might actually start believing this, and then making choices and changes that are reflected in their life to actually accept this energy. So that's what we're hoping for, to get more people prepared.
So this last show that you did, you put it out, I think, last week, and it resonates. I mean, your numbers are phenomenal, and which tells me that people are really hungry for what you have to say and what you get, and everyone can go to. We'll put a link to your show, so they can go and check it out themselves, because it's about an hour long. I mean, you had pages and copious amounts of notes, and it all lined up. That was the interesting part, and so it sort of fed on the last thing.
Yeah, your YouTube channel is just Allison Coe, and you post these videos, every month or two, whatever. You post a video, and this last one before, during, and after the event. And this morning, it's got close to 100,000 views this morning. So a lot of people are resonating with this.
They are.
Yeah.
With the information that's coming through.
I think people, so even if people don't know what quantum healing hypnosis is, or no matter what their background is, people all over the globe are feeling something is happening. They're trying to get answers to what's going on with them. They're either waking up suddenly, or they're having all these dreams, or they're listening to channelings that are like, oh, I feel like this is truth. Mm-hmm. So they're having these experiences that they need answers to, some clarity around. And so that I think is evident with why these numbers are so high for this most recent video, because people are like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. What is going on? And so to have, and what should I expect? And that's really helps dampen down the anxiety, because there's information all over the place, like, oh, there's going to be a great cataclysm, or half of the people are going to disappear. Yeah. And so that really gets people anxious. It's not a good feeling.
Well, no,
and so
I'm sorry.
So yeah, sharing information that actually helps people and gives them some sort of relief is I think why that video is so popular.
Well, that was the thing, is that I know about this and I've heard about this, and to me, so before you put that out, I was talking to a friend of ours, and she said, oh, Allison's getting such incredible information. I was in a very 3D place at that time. I mean, I was sort of in this really interesting low, and I heard it with these ears that all I heard was apocalypse, and it was very fear-based. It was very low, and so I thought, okay, I have to go watch it. And I watched your show, and okay, that's what I thought. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just kind of, because I love my life. I mean, I'm not looking to dive off because it's so bad, and I don't think everybody feels that way. I mean, that they want to dive off because life's so bad, but it is, to me, what I heard is will just be better. It will just be prettier. It'll be better. All of the things I love about life will be amplified, if such. But let's get into it. So I'm not sure. I mean, I know that people can go and check it out themselves. But how would you drill this down? I mean, what would you like to say about it?
Let's see,
That's
where
a
to
lot,
start. I think a lot of people get freaked out because they don't want to put too much effort into getting prepared for something that may never happen. And I think that resonates with so many people. We had the whole 2012 thing where everybody was like, okay, this is the end of the world. And then
I remember Y2K, I got ready, in 2012, I'm like, okay. And yeah, so it's a little bit of that crying wolf.
Yeah,
but
so there is some of that. And so that I think is why I don't put out these videos if there's only one or two people saying the same thing. The fact is that I have, just in the last 2 months, 25 or more sessions that are all saying the same thing. 25 or more.
That's incredible.
I mean, it is crazy.
Wow.
And so where to start with this? So yes, there's a preponderance of evidence all pointing that this is going to happen. Then there are people who don't come to my sessions, but send me information from other people who are getting the same steps. So they're sending me links to channelings. They're sending me links to people who have done ancient knowledge. They're sending me all of this information that all points to the same thing. These are not people who are in the quantum healing hypnosis community. These are not people who are getting their information from hypnosis or channelings, whether it's not quantum healing or not. And so there's all of this evidence coming in that something big is happening, and the ancients knew about it, and so and people. This is what I give a lot of validation to, and not everybody is the same, but I definitely give a lot of validation to dreams. People all over the world have been dreaming about this, about a wave of energy coming to the earth that they witness, and the earth changes and they change because of it in a positive way, in a higher vibration way. These are people all over the world. They're sending me their dreams. And so we have information coming from hypnosis, information coming from channeling, information coming from dreams, information coming from ancient cultures, all pointing to the same thing. Okay, so that's happening, and that is exciting for someone like me who doesn't. I'm very logical, and so I don't just believe in a bunch of woo-woo stuff. That never sat well with me. But also, I think the way it's different than something like 2012 is you can feel it. Mm-hmm. I know for myself, I can feel things ramping up, things changing. Mm-hmm. I can actually see the sky actually looks different. And it's been looking different for the last, several weeks or months. And that's all over the world. They're finding all of this. Kerry, you sent me a video from the ISS, the International Space Station, the other day, and I'd seen that a week before, where they're seeing all of this different light around the Earth,
pink light,
like pink light and stuff. And so this is going on. There's evidence everywhere that something big is happening, and it doesn't have to be something bad. There's evidence that it's going to be something good. and it's part of the cycle, a 26,000-year cycle. And so you have all of this stuff pointing that this is going to happen. And then when we get to just these sessions alone, we have stuff about, when this is going to happen. So all of us, we've been waiting around for years for this to happen. And the generation before us, they have been waiting around for years. And so there are people who are in their mid to late 70s who are like, I've been waiting for this to happen. And every time in these sessions, they always tell us the wait is over. It's almost done. They will still be alive when this happens. It's not a matter of waiting for years anymore. It's a matter of waiting for months or weeks.
Yeah.
So this is coming. It's coming. And it's coming from, because one of my questions, because I really wanted to see it in my head as how it was traveling across the universe. And so I was like, if this is a giant wave of energy coming, won't we see evidence of it approaching Earth? And so I was really happy to get this answer. They said in a session, they said that it was a portal. It was inside of a portal coming from the galactic central sun, and then it would shoot through our sun, and then it would come. And so that's why we kind of won't see evidence of it, because it's inside a portal. And I was like, okay, that makes some sense.
Oh, it's your
to me
straw
right there.
Look, okay, so that sounds weird, Bobby. So I woke up one day with that.
Ooh.
Allison, can you see that? I woke up and I went to bed and it was so strong, and it was just this. It's like cosmos in space with a beam going through it. Is that what that is?
Yeah. So that to me is how I view it. How I view it coming, but they said it's coming through. It may come through the sun. Now, only one session said that, so I would need more evidence for me to believe that. But when I heard that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Why we probably won't see it coming.
But it's been coming, and apparently I've heard that we're kind of at the midpoint of it, or the tipping point of it. So this energy has been coming, but now there's a bigger wave of it coming, is what I understand.
Right. So in one session I had, this was in, I think it was December 11th or right around there, I had a session with a client who went to this energy. She was this big purple energy. She didn't know, when you go into these lives, you don't know where you are or what you're doing yet. You just get a little bit of information at a time. So she drops into this energy and she's like, oh man, it feels so amazing. I'm this big purple wave of energy, and she's like, I am huge. I can see, I'm so expansive. I feel like I'm part of the universe. And I said, okay, well, what do you do? What are you up to as this energy? Do you just stay put, or do you travel? And she's like, yeah, I travel to planet after planet after planet. And I said, what do you do when you get to a planet? She says, I envelop and saturate the planet and move through, I permeate it. And then I always stay there, and then I move on to the next planet. And I say, okay, well, what are the effects of you hitting a planet? How does that change a planet? And she's like, I'm like a big brotherly hug, and I raise the vibration of that planet. And she's all, yeah, it really feels like a big brother, the way a big brother would protect their little sibling. Not my big brother,
That's what we're talking about.
Well, and that feels kind of like a
but
Jesus energy. He's like, I'm your brother, and that brotherly love kind of feeling. So
yeah,
that's part. That
feels... She explained it in a way that was very loving and protective, and there to help you get to the next step. And so I said, okay, well, can you send, because she was right in the middle of this energy, and I said, can you send your consciousness to the edges of this energy? Wherever your edges are, can you send your consciousness there? And she said, yes. And this is during the life portion of the hypnosis, not during the higher self yet. Okay, so she sends her energy to the edges, and I said, okay, well, where are you? And she's like, yeah, I can't really tell. And she's like, I'm out in space. And I said, okay, well, is the energy different on the edges there? And she said, yeah, it's not as strong, it's not as powerful as it was in the center. Okay, so that was cool. That was really beautiful, and she was this purple energy. Then we get to the higher self, and I'm like, tell me, what was that? Was that in the past, or is that now, or is that in the future? When was that life? And they said, that's actually happening now. And I said, okay, well, where is that energy at? And I said, it's on its way to Earth. Just the edges have started touching Earth. The edges of this energy have started touching Earth. The bulk of it will come in it said 3 to 6 months, and that was in December. The bulk of this energy will come in 3 to 6 months. And we were like, okay, this is amazing. And what will happen to the Earth when this energy comes? And it said, that it will raise the vibration of the Earth. Everybody will see it. It won't necessarily. And I was like, well, they'd just be like this purple wall of energy. And they were like, maybe not.
Yeah.
But they're going to see something. They're going to see a different color, and it's going to permeate and saturate the Earth. The very next day, I get a client who actually saw it from the ground floor, saw this event. These women don't know each other. They are separated by about 500 different miles. They each traveled in to have the session. So she saw it from the ground floor. She was outside of her house, because this is the client I'm mentioning in my video, who was like, there's so much stuff being said on YouTube. I just need to know what's happening. I need some clarity. I need some facts. I don't want any vague woo-woo stuff. Like, I want some real answers about what to believe, And I'm like, I hear you, man. Let's try and get them. And so the higher self was like, no, this is where you're going to be. And it, let her experience some of that. And she was like, there's a wall of multicolored light approaching. And she's like, it's miles high, and it's approaching my house. And I come out of the house, and later in her session, she's saying, the sky is different. It looks purple. And I was like, oh, I know what that purple is.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really tell her that.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to share her session afterwards. I was like, very professionally, I reach out, and I'm like, you had some great information in your session. May I please share it? It's 100% your private session. So I respect whatever you choose, and I would, keep your privacy, everything. And she's like, yeah, no, I just don't know if it, I don't really want to share it. And I was like, oh, okay. So 2 months later, she hears a song in her head, and it was this certain ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra song, and she's like, I heard the song in my head, and the lyrics kept playing in my head, and I knew at that point that I needed to share my session. I was like, hey, whatever it takes.
Inspiration.
And so she let us share her session, and she's the one who mentioned, oh, yeah, people go to these ships. Mm-hmm. People go to these ships. That was the first time I had heard that. People go to these ships right outside of the Earth's atmosphere. If they can't handle this energy, they're automatically sent to these ships. Then I have a session, 2 months later, separated by, another 60 days at least, and this woman's like, I'm on a ship, and we're preparing for all these humans. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What are the chances of that? So tons of evidence from people who don't know each other, describing things very similarly, and this stuff isn't out there. It's not like it was published information.
Right.
It wasn't. And so they're all describing it the same way.
That's awesome. And you're saying you're not predicting, but you're reporting that like over 75% of your clients are saying it's March-ish. It's first quarter of 2018 is when this energy, the bulk of this energy is coming, and that people will really be able to feel it, see it, to different degrees and different ways.
Yeah. Yes. So yes, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes, not my predictions.
You're reporting.
I can't make predictions. Just reporting what's coming through these sessions. And once again, as I say in the video, we're asking an entity that lives outside of time to explain when something is going to happen, giving us like a time frame. And so they can be off. But the information that comes through these sessions is that it's March-ish, or, give or take a month or two. That's how I feel, March, April, May-ish. I don't know. It's sometime in this right now. It's sometime in the now. So it's going to happen, and we will see it. That's what they stay. We will see it, because I'm like, I don't want to have another energy thing that I don't see, because I suck at that stuff. I need to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to feel something.
That movie, I keep seeing the ad for it with Portman.
The shimmer.
Yeah.
And I wonder, it's like, they try to make it in the movie a bad thing, but when you described it, the wall coming, that's the way I saw it. That it looked like a soap, the way soap looks.
That's the way all my clients see it. It's very similar to the graphics in that movie. I think it's called The Shimmer. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to attach fear to it.
Right.
Absolutely. And that means that if you have a bunch of fear about something approaching, that you probably won't get to experience it on the ground floor. And so you won't get to benefit from holding all of this light, because that's also what's said. It's like, if you can't handle the energy, if you're not if you are in a state of fear and it would cause more damage to you to hold this light, then you're out of here. And you're coming back, but you're out of here. And so the benefit of staying and handling this light is that you are flooded with it, you are a holder of it, and you can start sending it out.
Grounding
you can start healing people with it. Yeah. Yes, healing the earth, healing people, and changing the cells of your body. So they really wanted, this comes through sessions, we were really hoping that more people would be prepared, because that enables this vibration to rise higher quicker.
Yeah.
So how long do you think it takes to really acclimate, or really for it to go through its full potential?
What I hear, Kerry, on that subject is that it's completely different. It's individual. Okay. So some people, to reach their full potential of holding this energy and acclimating to the new energies, it can be up to 6 months from the time of the event, where they're just like, okay, I can finally. That was one where it was in my video. I say this client was told that she will have. It's almost like she will have read the manual for her human body and how to use her human body the way it should be used. And it said it will take up to 6 months
finally,
for her
we
to
get
finally
the
be
manual.
able to do that. Yeah, finally.
Finally.
When's the parenting manual going to come?
I know. That was my next question.
Yeah. So we finally get the manual, and for her it was going to take up to 6 months. For others, it can be a couple weeks. And some people are going to hit the ground running. They're going to be what's termed first responders, if you will, who are just like, and let's go, bounce up.
So what does it look like, though? I mean, so what do you think? So let's say it happens, and what I got is that people won't necessarily. It's almost like a time glitch, I don't know, because sort of
some people won't remember it happened,
right,
and some people will witness it and be able to understand what happened.
Consciously go through
it.
But what do you think happens? I mean, what's the result we're looking for here?
Okay, so what I get in these sessions, let me just begin with that. What I get in these sessions is that it's extremely bright. They will see this extremely bright light coming, and it will be kind of a wall, so it won't just be like a ray of bright light. It will be like a wall of bright light coming. Some people have described it as multicolored, some people haven't. But they will experience this wall of light, but they will also have the tingling and right before it approaches, so they'll be kind of clued into something is different, like all the hairs on the back of their neck will stick up, goosebumps, all of that stuff. They'll be able to feel it approaching.
And you said they'll feel high for a couple days, almost like kind of fuzzy.
Right. So after it hits them, yes, they will be completely blissed out, completely, and negativity will be taken away at that point. They'll be able to feel what other people are feeling on an amazing level that we can't even grasp yet. That's what was so cool about these sessions is, really quick, I just want to say that while I'm on the topic, they mentioned to one woman who's very much awake and aware and a very spiritual woman, they were like, she's going to realize how asleep she's been. after this energy. And I was like, oh, I can't wait for that. I cannot
cool.
wait to be at that next level of being like, all right, it's go time. Because a lot of us are just sitting around like, okay, what's next? Okay,
Well,
like
it's like seeing the Matrix.
plateau.
You can see the energy. You can feel how to interact with it. You can understand that we
Manipulate
are
it.
all one, connected. We can communicate. What I do to me, I'm doing to you. What we understand that on a whole new level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that would be, one of the after effects is stuff like that. Seeing and manipulating energy. And manipulation is not a zapping. It's, when I say manipulating energy, it just means changing and adapting energy.
Manifesting.
So
We
manifesting.
won't need to rely on the outside sources of energy or food as much if we can manifest it for ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, if you go with if you're still on topic with what will we experience, what will we see, it is a wall of light coming toward us, and each session is like it's going to lay them down. This is some strong stuff. I want to cuss, but I'm not.
I know, some strong shit.
So don't be scared.
I was told in January not to cuss anymore. I was like, oh. Okay.
So is that in getting it? Is that in preparation? Don't cuss, or what is? Yeah, just kind of be clean.
My higher self was like, Allison, don't cuss anymore and don't drink anymore. On the weekends or whatever. I'm not by any means a heavy drinker, but don't cuss anymore and don't drink anymore. And I was like, why, God, why?
Why the F not?
They were like, we want you to release more of your 3D personality to prepare for this. I was like, okay, well, if it's fun getting caught, I'll do it. So when I say I'm not supposed to cuss, it's because my higher self was like, don't cuss anymore.
And you said somebody.
Okay, so.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, we keep going all these topics.
I know, we keep going all over the place. It's going to lay people down. This energy will knock your socks off. And so even people who are prepared, like if you see it coming, I was told this in a couple sessions, try to get in a meditative position or just lay the heck down. It's going to knock your socks off. So it's coming, and it will change you. So you won't be able to just go about your day and soak in this energy. You will be laid down. Everybody will. Who's here?
But what do you have to go pick up your kids? I mean, do you just leave them?
They're all laying down too. Don't worry.
They're laying down. Yeah, they're laying down. One of the cool things that came through a session was that this was actually a session I had with Nora Yalis Young.
Yes.
I did a hypnosis session with her last week where I was a client.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was really amazing. So anybody, if you're interested in a hypnosis session, she is the bomb. She is the bomb. I think what is her company, Healing 101 or something?
Essential Healing 101.
Essential Healing 101.
Can you share anything that you got from your session?
Because I have a daughter, so this kind of answers one of those questions. So I have a little 7-year-old, and I was like, I wanted to know what I was going to experience during the event, and I made sure to ask it in a way that was like, okay, what am I going to experience that's different than everything I've heard? Because I don't want to be influenced by my sessions, So I'm like, I only want to hear what's different about my. And they said immediately after the event and after soaking up this energy, you're going to know where all your loved ones are. You're gonna have a bead on them. You're going to know exactly what they're experiencing and feeling, and you're going to know exactly where your daughter is, and you're going to know exactly where everyone is, and so you won't have any anxiety. Your phone will be off. His phones will be out because of this energy. And they said that will give you the chance to actually go in and connect telepathically to people. And so you're going to immediately do that and get a read on everybody. So that was really cool. So it's like we can't really approach this energy with these kind of 3D fears of like, whoa, you know what? It's completely different. We're gonna have tools available to us that we don't have before the event. So at least that's what comes through sessions.
That's awesome.
That really does make sense. And okay, so here is something that I get really confused. Everything that you're describing is what I would think heaven would be like. So when we cross, we go into the 4th D or the 5th D, right? I mean, just to give it a term. And so I wonder, once this is in place, when we cross, where do we go? Or do we not have to cross? Like, what's this? Why do we go through all this? What is the point of all of this? Because you can die and go into this.
We can, well, when we die, it's not that we go into the 5th dimension. So I think, or at least that's what I understand to be the case. When we're dying and we're out of body, we're someplace beyond, like 5D and 6D and stuff. So this is more of a physical experience.
It's still a physical experience.
Got it.
Yes. So you're on a, when you pass, you're having a completely energetic experience on a different plane. So at least that's my belief from doing this work for so long and just a part of my own belief system. So I think that'd be a really good question for anybody to ask during a session, would be a question like that. Mm-hmm. Just some clarity about what, where are we when we pass, and how is that different from 5D or not. But definitely when we go through these sessions, when a person goes to 5D, it's completely different from when they pass, when they're out of the body. Okay, so just to clarify a little bit of that. Well, so why would we go through something like this 26,000-year cycle? That's planned. That's cyclical. Yeah. It's a natural thing. They say we call it supernatural because we've never experienced it as humans. There's no record of us having experienced it because our civilizations keep getting wiped out, erased.
Right.
Or at least the information about those civilizations is kept from the public.
Except like the Mayan calendars and stuff, so we have evidence that this is how we know it's a cycle, right?
But they twist it what it means.
Right, but going back 26,000 years, there isn't much written record that this has happened. Okay, but yes, so information keeps coming to the Earth explaining that this is happening, whether it's coming from other races or not. They're like giving us records, giving us clues that this is going to happen, and that's what these ancient civilizations still have. Is these records that yes, this is happening, this is going to happen, it's part of a cycle and all this stuff. Okay, so this was really cool to hear because getting back to your question, Kerry, is like, why would we sign up for this? And the real question should be, why wouldn't we? Because this is huge. So many souls they were clamoring to get on the Earth, get on a planet that would experience this uptick of energy, this grand shift of energy. So that was really cool to get through some sessions. And that's why we have such a population boom right now. Why there's so many people here, because people are like,
they want to experience front row seat.
I want to go to the show.
Yeah, I want a ticket to the show.
I wanted to experience it, and that's why so many people, when they hear information about this event coming, that's why it resonates with them so much, because we have amnesia when we get here, so we forget why we came.
Right.
And then we're like, I'll take any ticket to the show, even that terrible seat, even that I will experience the nosebleed seats, or the right up front where my ears are blasting out. I will experience, neglect, abuse, anything just to get a ticket to come to Earth right now, because that is the next planet who's going to experience this.
Well,
so
wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, so I love that idea, because it really does make it all make sense. And I had this feeling at one point that once that happens, my job's done. I mean, like part of why I was here was to wake people up and it's like, okay, I'm going home. But so for people that see and kind of have these gifts and want other people to know who they are, who they really truly are and what they came for, if they already know that, I mean, really our job's done. I mean, like this type of show, does everything just sort of morph?
Right. So that also is on an individual basis. Some people are aware that they need to stay, and they came here to experience the shift, but also stay with Earth and help heal the Earth and help heal the people on Earth. And some people are like, yeah, and like you, my job is done, and this will be their catalyst to go home. After they experience the event, they're going home. And so it's completely individual. And some people will be like, okay, after the event, I'm going to take the first ticket to going to a new Earth, because eventually dimension hopping will happen. That's what comes through these sessions. It's like we'll be able to go through different dimensions easier.
And portals.
And, being aware of it.
So is it, did I hear on your show, did I hear it that there are these like stargates or these portals, and if you're, like, if you can see it, you can go through it? I mean, did you say something about that?
No, I never did, but that information has come through in sessions. Just not enough sessions that I could talk about it.
You didn't say that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's interesting.
I have talked about portals before on my the Talk is Cheap interview and stuff, but I haven't done like an actual video on YouTube talking about portals.
That's interesting.
That is really cool.
Well, we have a lot of people joining us on Facebook Live, and we have some questions if you're open to it. We could talk for hours about this.
Absolutely. I love questions.
Because we have a lot of light workers who are very familiar with what you're talking about, who experience the same thing, and we have people from all over. So hi to everybody joining us on Facebook Live.
Hi, everyone.
Some talk about, let's pick a question here. Well, Gina has just said, what are the parents doing to help prepare children for the event?
Oh,
and then other people are talking about animals and plants and pets and major earth changes like actual ocean, mountains. So we have a lot of questions. Pick one that you like.
Oh, okay. So what are parents doing?
What can we do to help prepare?
Children?
Well, prepare ourselves, prepare our kids. Yeah.
Everything that comes through these sessions is that kids are more prepared than we are.
Right. They have less baggage.
Right.
Less to unlearn.
They already are. But certainly just having a conversation with your kid has also been recommended in certain sessions, like just giving them a heads up. Hey, if you see some crazy, dang, I still want to cuss. If you see some crazy light coming through, coming up, don't be scared. That's going to happen. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine as far as preparing kids, because I have one, and sometimes she's receptive to my kind of crazy talk, and sometimes she's like, now.
Well, and one of them, you had said the kids will find out that mom isn't crazy once it actually happens. They'll be like, oh, it actually happened.
And those are grown kids. Those are like 40-year-olds.
Okay.
So see.
Okay.
Well,
good.
Well, I told my kids in a wouldn't it be cool if, just sort of like planting the seed, not necessarily this is going to happen, because it can be a little scary, I think, from their perspective, and they have so many questions that I can't answer, and so I just think, oh, wouldn't this be a great movie or a great book?
One of them, their client, she had told herself to stop eating so much sugar, lighten the diet.
Yes.
Lighten the body, and not eating the sugar to deal with her emotions or something like that, like to deal with the emotions and lighten up.
Yes, actually that has come through almost every session for the last 3 weeks has been they need to get their sugar out of their diet. Every single session. I thought it was like 1 week. No, it's been continuing. So every single session has been get the sugar out of the diet. Get the sugar out of the diet.
Why?
So sugar is doing something, whether it's inflammation, whether it's a distraction, whether it's being used as a crutch. So each individual has had a certain relationship with sugar that the higher self has addressed. Even though the client might not necessarily have brought it up, the higher self has been like, no, she needs to get that sugar out of there. Okay, so yeah, for one woman, it was she's using sugar to sugarcoat her fears.
Right.
Instead of actually dealing with what's going on, she's using sugar as kind of like a crutch. And I think that's actually true for a lot of people. They're using sugar as okay, let me get this quick release of endorphins going on. Let me actually just keep ingesting this sweetness, because what I see and what I'm experiencing I can't handle right now. Because she was dealing with family stuff. I had another client who was told to get rid of sugar because she was using it to alleviate her fears and her stress, because she was too focused on what was going on in the news narrative, the mainstream media narrative and stuff. She was too focused on that, and they were like, get rid of the sugar and stop focusing on that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Get your focus on yourself. And so, and one woman, she was told to get rid of sugar because it was actually food for the parasites that were in her digestive tract, and that's why she was having so many digestive issues lately. And so everybody has parasites. It's just a matter of how many.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's true.
So, and sugar feeds those parasites. So that alone is a good enough reason.
Starve the parasites.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Don't give the bugs more food, and then the general inflammation of sugar.
So,
So
how, I wonder, will time change? Because if time is a 3D construct and we're bumping it up,
that's a good question.
how does time change?
I don't get any information from my sessions about how time will change. It's never been brought up. Even when the higher self, even when we ask what will be different on Earth after this event, time is never brought up.
Huh.
So that's another great question for somebody to ask.
Okay, I need to sign up. I would like
Yeah.
to sign up. We need
Carrie's
to come out
gotta
and
sign-
see you.
I know.
So we can do this.
I know, but that's like Kerry keeps trying to come and see me, but like either a freak snowstorm happens in Texas, or I'm like my sessions are all booked out or whatever. But this is a great segue into the fact that there are hypnotists all over.
Yeah.
And Kerry, I want you to come and see me, but if
Yeah,
you can't,
I do too.
go and get it done still. But also Nora is a great one. I was able to get to the higher self through Nora's work, her hypnosis session, and get some answers to some questions. And that was really cool. So QHHT isn't the only type of hypnosis that gets you there.
Right.
I want to emphasize that.
Yes.
So there are other ways to get there. But yeah, so the time thing, I don't know yet.
I do want to throw your
But a great
website
question.
out. There is soulfocus-hypnosis.com for anybody who does want to get on your wait list, because I know you're pretty booked out.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Can learn more about QHHT, quantum healing, hypnosis technique in general. We had Julia Cannon on recently talking all about, more about what that is, and people can find a practitioner in their area. And then some people, it's not QHHT, but they are doing some Skype hypnosis sessions. I know
Yeah.
it's a little different, but that's
Yeah,
an option.
Yeah, it is an option. It is an option, and that's a really cool option to have open up now. Because QHHT, they won't allow you to use their trademark material for a
remote
where you're
session.
not in person.
Yeah.
And so to kind of have this other avenue open up to do these sessions. Carrie, get it together there, girl.
Man, I think I'm done. I'm hungry.
No, I'm not done. We've got so much more to ask. Okay, well, thank you for answering that question. Emma is Emma's a medium, and she naturally vibrates pretty high. She's wondering if you think that would have an impact on our abilities to communicate. I would think it would make everybody more in tune with their higher self, their loved ones, people here on Earth. The telepathy you said would be a big one.
Yes, and certainly vibrating high, getting your vibration as high as possible allows you to absorb more of this energy. That is, without a doubt, accurate. So you want to get as prepared as possible for holding a high vibration. So whether that's meditating more or working out more, eating a better diet, getting sugar out of there. I hear a lot of just cleansing your thoughts. Letting go of resentments, letting go of bitterness, letting go of calling the driver in front of you a jerk or whatever just for not using their turn signal. Just letting go. Like they told me, stop cutting. It's like letting go of more of your 3D personality. Because it used to be when you ordered an Allison, you got a lot of F-bombs and we had a beer together. That's not the case anymore. And they don't want that to be the case anymore. And so it's kind of preparing you for this new you that you're traveling to. And I do want to get back really quick to the children thing and how to prepare children. So I really enjoyed this coming through a session, and that was that just because someone isn't awake doesn't mean they can't hold the light. So it doesn't mean that they'll leave the earth, and it doesn't mean they can't handle this energy just because someone isn't spiritually awake. So when we talk about the children and some spouses and stuff who aren't necessarily connecting on the spiritual level with us, it doesn't mean that they'll leave. It doesn't mean that at some point they're not prepared to hold this energy. So definitely keep that in mind, that you don't necessarily have to be spiritually awake to have a high vibration. You don't necessarily have to be spiritually awake to stay here and hold the light. That's not a deal breaker. And so some people don't need to be prepared in the way that we're prepared. Okay?
I love that.
So I think that's important to know. That gave me a lot of relief knowing that.
Well, and some folks are here to play a role to support, and so and I think that role may shift. But so you had said that these energies began to come in, like I think you said February 20th. I understand why now. It when things get kind of rough and you have to look at patterns and behaviors, then you can clean them out. And I think that's why. I think this energy, this kind of discombobulation and this kind of clashing is for you to look at what needs to be dealt with and let go.
Yeah, that's a great point. That February 20th date came through one session. They were telling the client that from the point of February 20th until the event, that she would experience something new every day that would let her know it's on its way. Something hyper synchronistic, or just something different every day. And I remember being like, well, what? And it was like either super vivid dreams or increased synchronicity. Something was going to be changing every day for her from that point on. And then later in that conversation with the higher self, we're talking about addictions, and the higher self was saying, we want as many humans as possible to take advantage of the rest of their days on Earth in this 3D world by getting rid of addictions and stuff like that, because that is soul growth. We don't want them to wait for this event to rid them of their addictions, because that's not soul growth. So doing it on your own is mastery. Otherwise, you may have to come back and learn something else. And so they're trying to get as many people as possible to this point of releasing and releasing addictions, releasing old hurts and stuff on their own before this event. So if people have more of that, maybe they experience more turmoil right now than they have before. And I know that's come up with me a couple times. Like, and it's more like opportunities to have a drink with people, and I'm like, I should really be a master right now, but a cold beer sounds good because it's Saturday night, and for some reason, like, somebody's watching my kid finally, and I'm like, a cold beer sounds really good, and then I have to double check, and sometimes I do take advantage of that, but so we're all kind of being tested. We're all giving opportunities to get to this next level in our soul growth right now before this event happens.
So the new Earth will not involve good wine and cold beer? Really?
It will, if that's something you want. That's been given before as information.
You'll be so blissed out, you don't need to get drunk.
Get
a buzz on.
For the same reason.
You don't need to get a buzz on.
Okay, fine. So what else do we have?
Well, Mitch is laughing about Eric being an F-bomb dropper. Eric Medhus from Channeling Eric, and he's not coming back. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, Kalita, hi, sweetheart. How do extraterrestrials play into this? How do ETs? How do our star families help us out here? We've got about 5 minutes left.
Okay, really quick, I just want to say, hey, Mitch, what's up, man?
Hi.
I love you, bro. Okay.
So
so ETs, they're the ones that are in the ships. and they're also here on the ground floor. And they're also our family members, because a lot of us are here and we haven't only had human lives. So these are our family. We are part of a galactic brotherhood and sisterhood. We are part of a galactic family. So ETs are us. They are our brothers. They are our sisters. Certainly there are still some negative ETs out there, but it's such a small percentage. And our ETs who are coming to help us in these ships that are out of the Earth's atmosphere. Some of these ETs are actually humans. They're just not earthling humans. Some of them are earthling humans. Some of them are actual mantids. Some of them are, they come in all shapes and sizes. But there are a lot of beings from across the universe who are coming here to not only witness the show, but to help us.
I think the Star Wars bar scene where you can go have your cold beer with a mantis.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. And this is coming through not only my sessions but many sessions. So I think that is what I have to say about the ETs right now. So
I love that.
This is so fascinating.
And I have to say, I know where you come from with your background, and to be willing to put this out here, not apologetically or not in a small way, it's just so awesome. And I'm really honored by that you would do that.
Thank you.
Or I want to honor you. So, because that's brave.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it.
Do it.
Okay, who are you waving at?
Do it.
Geez, that's your puppy dog.
Yeah, my dog just came over, but he was camera shy. Now he's laying down. So.
Oh.
He missed his opportunity for greatness. You always hear evidence.
His moment.
Well, there's we've got a lot of good questions here on Facebook Live. So if we don't get to your question on air because we're almost out of time, we'll circle back and see if we can get some of these answered for you, or we'll just have to have Allison come back on and do another show.
Oh, yes.
And obviously, when you get new videos posted, we just love watching them and calling you and talking about them and sharing on Joyride here. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, and you only put stuff out.
The show.
Well, sure, but you only put it out. I mean, I know that people have asked you before. It's like, when are you putting out? And you need to do it like clockwork. And you're like, nope.
But it helps,
it
helps answer. Yeah, it helps answer a lot of questions, because we just did a show last week about being like no wind in the sails. Like we felt in the doldrums, and then a lot of your clients come on and talk about people aren't interested in things right now. Like they're just nothing's holding their interest because this wave of energy is, it's kind of the calm before the storm almost. Not in a bad way.
It's just like a constant regurgitation of the same information out there over and over and over again, and it can be really hard to even have any interest in that at all. And so, it was really cool to get that stuff out of these sessions, because I too was like, I am bored. I can't listen to anything. I can't watch anything. Like, I'm just bored. Like, luckily I have the best show in the house, but I was at these sessions. I was like,
seriously,
there's nothing out there. If I want to just be on my phone, there's nothing out there. I just watch dog rescue videos all the time.
I just had a dog rescue party.
Sweet.
That's funny.
You did. You want to promote your?
Oh, yeah.
You want to throw it out there?
I can't say it. Yeah, I'll do it next time. So I think that it is. I'm with you. It was just like it's just this. You're right. It's just the same thing. And so
and just being done. Like just being done. Like you plateau out and you're just like, I am done. And a lot of my clients had been there. They're just done. Like, I'm so done.
ETs again. Love attraction.
Yeah. So I think that's just another sign of how ready a lot of us are for that next level.
Whoever is pressing that button, nobody is claiming ownership to pressing this beep. So we apologize for the beep. We're just going to say that it's contact because we don't know where it's coming from. Just some random. Do you even hear it?
I didn't even hear it.
Oh, it's like a phone. It's like a dial, like a punch dial.
This whole time. It's just,
I didn't hear it.
Randomly
these
beeps.
random beeping. All right. I guess it's time for us to say goodbye or until next time. Thank you, beautiful Allison Coe, for joining us. This has been
you guys
fun.
are so wonderful. I'm so glad you're doing what you're doing, and I wish I could come on the show more regularly.
Well, let's do it. Let's do
Come
it.
to Houston.
And thank you, everybody, who's joining us on Facebook Live and later on YouTube. Please share this to people who are on this path with us, and like and subscribe, all that good stuff. We love you.
Yes, you guys are doing a great service. All right.
Thanks,
bye,
Mama.
ladies.
Bye, everybody.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.